Welcome back, Guardians, to another weapon guide. Today we're going to talk about the machine gun, namely the thermal erosion. So the thermal erosion is, as mentioned, a machine gun which you can get from the Beyond Light campaign. As soon as you finish the part of the campaign where you get the gun, you are now eligible to do Empire hunts, which will reward you with additional thermal erosions. All of the weapons you have acquired throughout the campaign will be available as random rewards while exploring the world of Europa. So with that being said, let's take a look at the weapon stats. So the thermal erosion has 25 impact, 33 range, 38 stability, 39 handling, and 61 reload speed. It fires 900 rounds per minute and holds 89 rounds total per magazine. As for the hidden stats, it has fairly low zoom, clocking in at 16, and it also has extremely high aim assist. This goes up to a total of 66, meaning it's rather heavy on the bullet magnetism, meaning you're gonna hit your shots without really having to aim that specific towards an enemy target. Another thing with aim assist is it increases the hitbox of the actual enemy, meaning that the more aim assist you have, the easier time you're going to have to hit your shots. As for weapon perks, we're first going to go over the PvE side of the weapon and then the PvP side of the weapon. So to start off with, for the PvE side, I would highly recommend that you go with anything that gives you stability. Range could be pretty decent as well, but usually with machine guns you're at a distance where range won't really help, and aim assist could be nice with a light machine gun, but it fires so fast and so heavy that I deem it not necessary to focus all that much on range. But even so, I would still go with small bore because it gives you overall more stats than say polygonal rifling, which will give you 9 stability. Meanwhile, small bore gives you 6 range and 6 stability for a total of 12, and this is overall higher, meaning it's overall better and overall of more value to you. For the second tier of perks, I would definitely go with ricochet rounds. Here you'll get more stability and you'll get more range, meaning this is probably the one that will give you, in terms of raw stats, the most bang for your buck, so definitely go with ricochet rounds for the second tier. As for the third tier of perks, I would highly recommend either Killing Wind or Zen Moment. Which one of these you want to have depends on what you intend to use the thermal erosion as. If you're going to kill a lot of minor ads, then you're not really going to get much from Zen Moment, meaning that Killing Wind will probably be better for you. But if you're going to use it to kill more challenging enemies, say like champions and majors, then Zen Moment is going to be of more value since you're going to be able to continuously fire more often. As for the fourth and final tier of perks, I would highly recommend Demolitionist. Demolitionist, as you know, gives you grenades and reloads the weapon when you throw an actual grenade. Wellspring, from what I've seen, is pretty good, so if you have a minor enemy killing machine gun, then you're going to be able to get full advantage of Wellspring. Otherwise, I would highly recommend that you go Demolitionist, but this is kind of a dealer's choice. I would personally go with Demolitionist. I will probably test Wellspring out more often, but usually Demolitionist feels like a more safe bet to me since it reloads the weapon when you throw a grenade. As for the PvP side of things, well, it's a machine gun, so it's probably not the best option to go with as a heavy. But if you intend to go with this, then having a decent amount of stability and range is a must. Therefore, once again, I would go with small bore as the first choice. For the second tier, I would definitely once again go with ricochet rounds because it gives you overall the most range and the most stability. And as for the third tier, that's where this kind of takes a turn. I would say that Killing Wind is probably your best option here since it gives you more mobility, more weapon range, and more handling when you get a kill, meaning that getting subsequent guardian kills is going to be easier. Finally, to get the weapon even more stable while firing, I would definitely go with tap the trigger. The reason why I go tap the trigger instead of dynamic sway is because you don't really need that many shots to kill an enemy, meaning that you won't really get to use dynamic sway to its fullest potential. Meanwhile, tap the trigger will work on the first initial trigger pull, which gives you a lot more initial weapon stability. And with all this being said, what do I think of the gun? Well, I quite enjoy it. It's a cool light machine gun, it looks pretty cool like the rest of the Europa stuff you've gotten so far in expansion, and it's one of the only light machine guns you can get in the game now that's not sunset. So if you want to have a machine gun in your arsenal, I definitely recommend at least trying to grind this out as much as you can. And with that being said, I want to ask you guys a question. What do you think about the thermal erosion? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you did enjoy the video, then liking the video and subscribing to the channel is a great way to support the channel itself. It's also a great way to stay up to date on the latest uploads. And with that being said, I want to wish you the very best of your day. This is TCSpectre, signing off.